hopefully we see
Yes.
everybody at the meetup. We're going to talk more about that in a minute. Hey, sister girls, we're here to keep it real and break down the truths you need to know. If you're feeling like the carnivore diet is just not working for you, this episode is for you. We're going to dive into 5 of the most common reasons why people hit stalls and how to fix them. So, trust me, if you've been stuck, don't worry, we got your back.
That's right, sister girl. It's not about beating ourselves up when things slow down. It's about understanding what's happening in our bodies and how we can adjust for real progress. So let's kick it off with our first big issue why carnivore might not be working for some of us. Number one is not eating enough fat.
Girl, insulin resistance and insulin sensitivity,
Intermittent fasting overuse,
hormonal imbalance.
and underestimating the power of water and electrolytes. So let's start with a biggie. One of the most common reasons that carnivore doesn't seem to work is that people are not eating enough fat. This was me. Now, I know that might sound counterintuitive, but fat is crucial to the carnivore way of eating. It is your energy source. It helps with satiety, helps keep you satisfied, and even aids in hormone production. Why does it matter? Fat is essential on a carnivore way of eating to provide energy, balance your hormones, and keep you feeling satisfied. If you're not eating enough fat, you're missing out on vital nutrients that your body needs.
Oh, absolutely, Robin. You told it all right there. And here's the thing, a lot of people are surprised when they hear they need to eat more fat because how we've been taught, stay away from fat, fat makes fat, right? But if you're not eating enough, your body will turn the protein for energy instead of fat, which is a glucose. And that's where the stall happens. You might even be feeling sluggish or constantly hungry.
Exactly. Fat is not a luxury, it is a necessity. So here's what I recommend for adding more fat to your meals. We're going to opt for fatty cuts of meat like ribeye, brisket, or pork belly. You can also cook with tallow or lard. And don't forget about butter or ghee in your coffee or on your veggies if you're still eating them. If you're feeling deprived, try a little bone marrow or some high fat dairy like heavy cream.
Yes, be a little sensitive with the cream because it can inflame you, but more fat is the key to unlocking better energy, clearer skin, and fewer cravings, honey. But we can't just forget the next big issue, which is insulin resistance. If your insulin is high, you're probably going to see some stalls. But before I move on, some suggestions would be to make sure to include fattier cuts in your meat, like the ribeye, the pork belly. Add additional animal fats like tallow or lard. So when I say that, I can cook in it. So if I'm doing a steak, then the tallow, which is the beef fat that's in there, I pour that over the steak, right? You add that to the meals, or you can take it and even drink it in your bone broth with extra butter or ghee to boost up that fat intake.
I
Now,
want
let
to
me
just
talk a
say
little.
here before you go on to the next segment is
Uh
that
huh.
eating more fat is a true game changer in the carnivore animal based way of eating. It's truly a game changer if you are just starting, like Leah W. here. We want to make sure that we are eating plenty enough fat. And remember that the carnivore way of eating is a high fat protocol.
That's true. So watch this here. Let's talk about this because here's another thing. Leah, we're so happy that you're here. Insulin resistance. That's something that we've talked about on this show. It's one of the big reasons people hit a wall on carnivore. Insulin resistance means your body is having trouble responding to insulin, which leads to higher blood sugar and fat storage. I'll say that again. It's going to lead to a higher blood sugar level. Come on, pre-diabetes. Come on, diabetes. And fat storage. Yeah, yeah. That's what it'll lead to. Now, when you're on carnivore, the goal is to become insulin sensitive. That's where I am. This means that your body uses less insulin more effectively, which can help you lose fat and improve your overall health. And when I say now, if I try to have a bowl of something, it's going to harm me. I'll end up inflamed, pain off of one thing that I can eat wrong. That's how sensitive my body is now. But why it matters is because insulin resistance can cause stalls because your body is struggling to process sugar and fat efficiently. Carnivore can help reverse this. But even small stalls, small amount of carbs is what I meant to say, can set you back while your body is still adjusting.
This is so funny because we just talked a little bit about the vegetables that you could add some low carbohydrate vegetables. But this is where even a small amount of carbs can actually set you back. And remember this, all plants are sugar, all vegetables are carbohydrates. So even a small amount can cause an insulin spike and make it harder for your body to burn fat. In fact, your body will not burn fat in the presence of insulin. So the key is staying consistent with your way of eating and not reintroducing carbohydrates too soon, especially if your body's still adjusting. And this is where we can dig in a little bit.
Yeah, you're so right. Here's my advice. If you're stalled and think a few carbs might help, remember that's a slippery slope. I need to say this. My nephew, who is trying this, I checked in. He said, Auntie, a sweet tea. And
Mm-mm.
next thing I know, yes. You see, here's the thing. Have you ever noticed where it takes you a long time to lose it, but then before you know it, a few meals, you can't even fit those clothes anymore? It comes back faster because you're sensitive now. And that's what I was trying to let him know. That's a slippery slope. So until you've truly reversed insulin resistance, even a little bit of sugar can trigger those cravings and stall your progress.
And you got to remember where you started from too, right? So we think about, I've heard so many times about how when you go off of keto, you're going to gain all your weight back. Well, yes, you absolutely are. And they're going to bring some of their friends with them. So if it might take a while to truly become insulin sensitive. So this can take some time. But once you're there, things will start to click. And it's about building up that metabolic flexibility, meaning you can burn sugar or you can burn fat. So here's some suggestions for you. We're going to keep carbs low until your body becomes more insulin sensitive, and be patient because it might take a while, but it's well worth it in the end.
It's so worth it. Exactly. And after speaking of flexibility, let's talk about intermittent fasting. That's another tool that can help, but only if it's done right. Let's dive into it in this next segment. Okay. Listen, guys, intermittent fasting is something that's gained a lot of traction lately. It can be a great way to break through a stall, but only if it's done correctly. Fasting for too long or too often can actually backfire. When you're on carnivore, it's important to make sure you're getting enough food when you're eating and not cutting yourself too short. I need to say, you're not counting calories.
Mhm.
So eat enough food, but remember, you're going to need the fat. If you just continue to eat a lean meat, your body is going to turn that into a fuel source because you're not giving it fat as fuel. And then before you know it, this ain't working. This ain't working. Yeah, it is. But so why does it matter? Some people try to push their bodies too much fasting for too long in their fasting windows, which can cause stress and then slow down your metabolism.
Drop a thumbs up in the comments if you are a person who does intermittent fasting. So, a lot of people think that they need to do long fasting windows, but that can actually cause your body to cause you to be too restrictive. And we always say this, right? So, eat when you're hungry, don't eat if you're not hungry, stop eating when you're full. And we don't want to be too restrictive as far as our eating windows are concerned. You're on carnivore to nourish your body, not to starve it. So here's where a 16-8 fasting window works for many, but I recommend listening to your body and adjusting if needed.
That's right, because fasting isn't a one size fit all approach. So I recommend you can start a 12-hour window. So for 12 hours, it can be 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Listen to your body. In the beginning, you're trying to nourish you. You're looking for the fats. You're looking for these different things. I found myself in the beginning. It was 11 o'clock at night. I opened my eye, looked over at my husband and said, I want some more lamb chops. I got up at 11 o'clock at night and went and ate the lamb chops. It was like literally my body was asking for this. My husband is a faster. He probably has a 2-hour window. He eats one time and keep going. That might work for him. That does not work for me. So find the window that works for you. Your fasting window might be too long and you need to eat more.
That's right. That's a great point. Fasting really is about being in tune with your body and what it needs. Not everybody's fasting will look the same. But even if you're not fasting, making sure you're eating enough and getting the nutrients in is key to busting through any stalls.
A
So,
suggestion. Go ahead.
my suggestions are stick to a manageable eating window like 12 hours. That's like 12 hours of eating and 12 hours of not eating. And then we gradually increase it to 16 hours of fasting and 8 hours of eating if your body allows. Listen to your body and don't stress out with over fasting.
There you go. So with fasting, a fat intake, and insulin sensitivity. That's like wait, girl,
Tongue twister.
satiety. I know we learning all this stuff. It's all about finding the right balance for your body. And remember, it's okay to ask for help and adjust things as you go.
All right. Segment 4 is about hormonal imbalance. So let's talk about something that affects a lot of women on this journey. And certainly I am one that fits into this category. Hormonal imbalance. It can cause stalls. And let's be honest, we know, us ladies, us girly girls, we know it all too well. So, from menstruation to menopause and even thyroid issues, our hormones are constantly changing. And that can make it feel like we're taking 2 steps forward and 1 step back on this way of eating. Why does this matter? Because sometimes women, especially, face stalls because hormonal changes, again, like menstruation, menopause, or thyroid imbalances, can make it harder to lose weight, even on a carnivore way of eating.
Wow, Robyn, you're making me think, girl. And it's important to understand that hormones play a huge role in how we lose weight. Hmm. That's interesting. If you're stressed out or not getting enough sleep, we talk about that so much. Robyn and I even have rings. I can see, did she get a good night? Did I get a good night? Sleep is so important. It's going to impact your metabolism and cause more roadblocks. And here's the kicker. It doesn't matter how strict you are with carnivore. Those hormonal shifts can still make weight loss sticky and tricky.
That's right. So, what can women do to balance those hormones, especially when they're feeling like their body isn't cooperating?
That's a good question. First off, managing stress is the key. I know we all deal with stress in different kinds of ways. There's work, family, life, bills, kids, grandkids. Keep going. But
The
stress is
dog.
a major, I know stress is a major player when it comes to your hormones. Have you ever heard of cortisol? Cortisol, the stress hormone, can wreak havoc on your body, especially if it's always high. You're always stressed at something. The traffic, the light. I'm talking about myself. The driving. I don't want this person in front of me. Oh, don't miss this light. I send myself, now that I'm sitting up here thinking about it. Oh my gosh. It's always high. And then not getting enough sleep. Sleeps help our bodies to reset, and that includes your hormonal regulation. If we're not getting restful sleep, our hormones won't be balanced.
Yep. And another key to it is going to be our nutrition.
Mm.
So I will say that I'm a person who thus far, has not been getting great sleep, but I'm going to start speaking those things that are not as though they were, because I need to get good sleep. And I know that it's a cortisol problem, but nutrition is also a huge factor. It's the food, y'all. We say that on here all the time. It is the food. It's 80% what it is that you are eating. So these carnivore meat-based meals can help support your hormonal balance by reducing inflammation. Like, inflammation is so huge, and giving our bodies the nutrients that we need. We want to eat nutrient-dense, high-fat animal products, and that is the foundation of our food pyramid.
Yes, it is. And here's some suggestions. Hormones play a huge role in weight loss, managing stress, getting enough sleep. So, and eating a nutrient-dense carnivore meal can help support that imbalance over time. Once again, what we talk about, the fats, getting this in, taking care of you first. Tell us a little bit about the power of water and electrolytes, Robyn.
All right. So, we're going to shift gears because we always talk about food. And as I just said, the food we eat is 80% of what it is that we need, right? And there's another 20% that has to do with movement and things like that. And so, but we talk about food all the time, but there is a thing that's sometimes overlooked on this way of eating, and that is hydration and electrolytes. We know that carnivore can flush a lot of water out of your system really quickly when you're cutting carbohydrates. So, how can not getting enough hydration and electrolytes mess with our progress? And why does it matter? We know that on carnivore, our body flushes out a lot of water due to lack of carbs. If you're not replacing those lost electrolytes, you could feel sluggish, have cramps, or face stalling.
That is a great question, Robyn. When we cut the carbs, our bodies release a lot of water. So a lot of times in the beginning, we tell you, we've named it the keto flu. You might have flu-like symptoms. You're losing in that urine vital electrolytes like sodium, potassium, and magnesium. If we don't replenish those electrolytes, it can cause all kinds of issues. We're talking about fatigue, muscle cramps, and you guessed it, weight stall. We're right back at that again. This is a major reason why some women feel sluggish or think the diet isn't working anymore.
And I have definitely been there. You feel like you're doing everything right, but suddenly you're tired all the time. You can't seem to shake those muscle cramps. Oh my gosh, I had the worst muscle cramp of my life the other night, and I still have like a knot in the back of my leg because of the electrolyte imbalance. So those muscle cramps can be serious. They call them Charlie horses. Oh my God, a frog. You got a frog in your arm or a frog in your leg. This is a clear sign that you need more electrolytes. So guess what I did the next day? I had about 2-3 packs of electrolytes because I do not want to deal with muscle cramps. So what can women do to avoid this?
Oh my God, it's simple. Hydrate. A lot of times on the show, you'll even see us making sure we're getting in the water. A lot of you guys, if you don't know, I've been out on a cruise ship. When I tell you how important these electrolytes are to me, the sun, I still get up and do 15,000 steps in the morning. I'm doing all of this. So Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. Drink plenty of water throughout the day. But here's the trick. Just drinking water isn't enough. You'll need to replace those lost electrolytes. I always recommend adding a good quality electrolyte supplement. It's like putting gas in the tank. If you don't, your body will start to run on empty.
That's right. And don't forget, you could also or always add sea salt to your meals for extra sodium. Try electrolyte drinks that don't have any sugar in them. Lots of the big names put out ones that don't have any sweeteners at all in them. Or you can make them at your own house. Absolutely. There's really no need for fancy stuff. Get a piece of rock salt and put it under your tongue. Just get the basics to support your body's needs. So here's
Yeah.
some suggestions.
Mm.
Drink plenty of water and consider adding electrolytes, especially if you're feeling fatigued or experiencing muscle cramps.
And I can't say enough how important that is. There are sometimes, even in a stretch, I can feel my leg. I have to come back from the stretch. I can't do it. That muscle is not. And I think to myself, you mean tell me I'm still not getting enough? So
Not
when I'm
enough.
on land, I've actually gone and got hydrated at an IV place. That's part of my regiment. For Frederick and I, we instead of going on a date to a restaurant, we go to a date to the hydration place. We do that because if you start to feel like you're in a stall, check in with your body, your hydration, your electrolytes. It might be missing piece to getting your body back on track. I did want to put that out. So whether you watching live or replay, if you got some questions for us, you better go ahead and put it over in the comments
We
and
do
let us
have
know.
one
I don't know.
question. We
Go
have
right
one
ahead.
so far. All right. So Mr. Frederick Brown is in the house. Thank you for being with us tonight, Frederick. How do I know if I'm consuming enough fat?
Good question. I'll let Robyn deal with Mr.
So
Brown.
I always say that fat is a lever, right? So fat is a lever that you're going to use. If you have too much fat, you will know that you have had too much fat because it will cause loose stools. If you're not having enough fat, you might be having problems with things like constipation or having some challenges with your bathrooming, I'll call it. It is a fine balance for each person individually to determine. Like I know people who can eat a pound of fat in a day and they've basically worked their way up to that amount. For me, I can probably eat like, 8 ounces or something like that of fat in a day. So it's going to be definitely something that you will figure out as your body gets used to consuming more fat.
And for me, I try to get fat in different ways. And I'll say once again, Frederick and I have been out. We've done 20 cruises this year. So I have spent a lot of time on the ship. But I also know they have a specialty restaurant. And for whatever reason, a lot of places, they trim the fat off. I say, don't throw it away, save it, fix that, grill that up for me. And so we actually have a bowl of fat with our dinner meal. They come and sit it right in the center. We'll have our protein on our plate. We try to get a fattier cut. We tell them if it's salmon, leave the skin on. I just want the skin extra crispy though,
Mm-hmm.
because I don't. Yeah, no. And even at dinner, I'll add some butter along with the fat. The butter flavor with the salt and the fat mixed in, and I mix that together is delicious. In the morning, we call it fat bomb coffee. But when I'm on the ship, I haven't, no, even here, I'm in a hotel right now, guys. And I have a small $12.97 crock pot. When we're on land, I go and get some chicken wings in the bag. I put the drumettes in the crock pot, let them cook overnight, and there's my broth in the morning. I take the broth into a cup. I add butter, I add electrolytes, collagen, all of that, baby. And it's like sipping heaven every day. And so I get the ship to do the exact same thing. I ask them to use a leg or a thigh. Please don't use a breast. There's no fat on that breast. So I get a leg or a thigh and have them to boil that, and then I want the broth. I don't even want the leg or thigh. I just want the broth from it. And I make it from there. And sometimes I'll even have extra electrolyte in here. But when all else fails, take some salt, put it under your tongue, and drink your water. Another thing I've added, Robyn, is apple cider vinegar. For those that don't know, I almost 14 years ago had the gastric sleeve, but don't think for a minute that that is what helped me in losing weight, because I'll show you even here. I had the gastric sleeve. Look how big I was over there on the left, right? Come on now, gastric sleeve. I always, always. So I look, I have my receipts. It was only through the carnivore diet that the weight actually came off. So that's another reason why I don't do a long fast. I have a smaller stomach. So in my window, I'm going to eat a lot of meals. Um, whether it is boiled eggs, I probably eat 25 pieces of bacon a day. Um, I When I'm at home, of course, I save that fat. That's what I end up cooking in. If I want to fry some chicken or some pork chops, I use that smoked beef bacon. I mean, smoked bacon fat. Oh, what do you
So good.
mean? So there
Yes.
you go. I think I saw
Mhm.
another question.
Yes, you did. This is Woodsy Carnivore. And she says, I think it's a she says, does it make a difference how we get the fat, like fatty meat cuts versus adding a little bit of butter on the side, a lot of butter on the side, to say a leaner cut of meat or adding to a hot drink?
To me, it doesn't.
To me,
It's
it does.
taking
And I'm going to let her answer and then I'll come and tell you why it does to me.
Okay. So I know, I kind of think I know what you're going to say. So for me, I'm able to take in however it is that I'm eating it. It's my preference. So I'll have the melted butter and stuff like that in my broth. Um, but then I want the fat bite pieces, as I call them, and I'll do the same thing with pork belly. I'll cut that up as well. But some people can't take it a certain way. For me, nothing's wrong with my stool, and I'm just going to take it in any kind of way I can get it.
Yeah. For me, I do have a sensitivity to dairy actually, and many of us do. I kind of thought I might have a sensitivity to dairy before I went on carnivore, but there was a lot of noise in the system with all the different foods that I was eating that were many, many, many of them were causing me to be very sick. But come to find out, I have a sensitivity to a lot of butter. So I did last summer, I did a challenge, the stick of butter a day challenge because, you know, steak and butter gal. And then also there was this guy called Butter Bob, whose his philosophy was 10 years ago. He was talking about how a stick of butter a day will make your pants fall off. And so I tried the stick of butter a day challenge and I actually gained 10 pounds without changing anything else. And so some of us are probably not able to tolerate butter as well. Now I can still eat butter, but I can't eat like a whole stick of butter or add a lot of butter. Um, I do and can utilize ghee and also brown butter. I just have to pour those milk solids off and not really consume very much of that. So I think it's going to be an individualized type of thing, whether or not you can tolerate butter or but that I feel that beef fat trimmings are the bomb. They are a game changer. So when G's talking about sitting at her table on the cruise ship, she's had them cut all the fat off everybody's steaks and cook it up for her. Can you imagine? They're like, "Oh, this lady is a cheap date. She's not even eating the steak. She's just eating the fat."
No,
That's
what's
what
funny, Robyn, what's funny is on the first night, normally it's not it's the waiter. Probably I have about 3 people that bring the fat because they kind of look like, is this what you want? Is this what you want? I'm like, yes, thank you. Or I might say, oh, could you crisp it a little bit more? And they're looking to see, what am I getting ready to do with this fat? I want to address this really quick. The apple cider vinegar hurts my stomach. So let me tell you how I take in my apple cider vinegar. With the chicken broth, I'll probably add about a fourth cup of chicken broth to a glass, whatever it is. I do a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar and a couple of shakes of my Redmond's real salt. The apple cider vinegar is, because I'm looking at the broth, is warm and it's dissolving my salt. And I turn it around, and it takes 2 shots for me to drink it. But the very first time I call myself being a big girl, it's apple cider vinegar. I put that in and it burned the back of my throat. I didn't know it burned like that. I'm seeing other people do. So I don't know what's in the back of their throat. They must have an iron plate. But now it's almost like it's a whole revolution on its own. And if I don't have any broth, I'll still do warm water just to dilute it. And then I might just do a teaspoon. But baby, that chicken broth, y'all better go to Walmart and get you a $12.97 crock pot. Yay big. And it sits and it just does. It does. Here's another one.
Go ahead.
How much water? Oh, yes, hydration is good. You be wanting to read the whole thing. I found that moving from one city to another has made my cortisol go out of the norm. Yes, ma'am, the stress. But how much water do you feel is sufficient? I listen to my body, and then I watch my urine in the toilet. Those are my 2 factors. I don't look for clear urine. It's like, then it's coming out. If you're going to the bathroom a lot, your body's kind of getting rid of it. And when my body does that, what I try to do, if I feel that I'm drinking this and I'm peeing it right out, I just got to use the right words. I'm peeing it right out. Then that says to me, it's a sign that I personally want to go and get hydrated. Because I feel that when that needle goes in, the hydration is going through my veins all around to all of my organs, and then I'm saving them. And then it seems as I'm drinking water, it holds in. So that is what works for me.
So, what I will say regarding how much water is sufficient is that is going to be an individualized thing. So we have come from the school where they said, drink 8 ounces, 8 ounce glasses of water every day. Every person was supposed to drink that much water. And I just don't necessarily feel that that is a requirement for every single person. But when you are utilizing electrolytes, your water is actually more effective. Your body is that sodium helps your body to hold on to the hydration that's in the water, right? So it is going to vary by person. Drink when you're thirsty. And sometimes if you feel hungry, you should also have drink instead of eating. Because a lot of times that thirst will mask itself as hunger. But I think that this is an individualized thing, and it's not like every person should drink the exact same amount of water each day.
I agree. So Carnivore has helped with my sarcoidosis. No medicine. First of all, I'm going to applaud that because that is phenomenal. And it helped in the last 30 years. Come on now. Come on now. No medicine. That's what I'm talking about.
No, he's saying no medicine helped him. So this is my
oh, okay.
My husband's brother cousin, Sherrod.
I was getting ready to say, wait a minute, that's my cousin. That's Brother Brown right there.
Yeah, that's Brother Brown. That's right. And he's saying that no medicine helped him. In 30 years, he's had sarcoidosis. And in fact, when I first came into this space, into the carnivore space, and started doing YouTube and interviewing physicians and doing all the things that I do, I asked a lot of doctors about this because of Sherrod. I wanted to find out, will a carnivore way of eating help with this particular concern? First of all, sarcoidosis is an autoimmune condition. And so, yes, his inflammation went down so fast, you guys. It was literally unbelievable how fast his inflammation reduced, and he began to have a lot of success on the carnivore way of eating. So I'm very proud of Sherrod, and I'm very thankful. He's like the poster child for carnivore.
Yes, we're gonna have him again. Okay, your turn.
All right. So is beef fat better than pork fat? Yes.
Plain and simple. So my reasoning behind it is because that cow is eating all the nutrients that you need. He has multiple stomach, he or she has multiple stomachs that's breaking that down. And so those nutrients are going into the fat that you need to eat. Pigs are raised differently.
They are. They are.
And
And
so
yeah, go ahead.
for me, pig fat, the only way besides on bacon, and then I crisp that besides frying in it. If I do a pork belly, that fat has to be like kind of really cooked for me. So a lot of times I'll do pork belly bites, or I'll make them small. So when I'm cooking, the fat crisp. I personally cannot take in pork fat that's not crispy. I
You
just
don't like that soft pork fat.
mm, mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. Nope, I can't. Your turn. You can. What do you think?
Yeah, so I say that beef fat is better than pork for the very same reason that G just mentioned, which is that, you know, the cow is a meat processing machine, right? That's what they do. They process all of those glyphosates and oxalates and lectins, all of the stuff that's in the plants that's so toxic and damaging for our bodies, the cow processes that out. While other animals, chicken, pork, you know, all the other non-ruminant animals, they do not. So some of the things that they have eaten are going to come through in the food. So a lot of times people will have you know, different kinds of allergic reactions and stuff to pork or to poultry because, you know, some of those anti-nutrients are coming through in the food.
So I would just want to add this. A lot of times in this community, you get to ask us questions. We love it. But what if you could just talk to a doctor? Because sometimes when we go to our doctors, if you approach your doctor from a keto stance, they'll kind of understand cutting the carbs, so on and so forth. But everyone is not that familiar with carnivore. They are more with ketovore. But we have some doctors that like know they stuff. And because of that, I want to show you this. What was that, Robyn? What was that? What do you have going on?
The Impact Meetup in Kalamazoo, Michigan is coming, and we are so excited. As you saw, we've got some good doctors coming in. Dr. Tony Hampton is going to be in the house. Dr. Kiltz is going to be in the house. We've got Denitra Davis, G and Frederick are going to be there. And then also Terry is going to be there teaching us to get our boots on the ground. You guys, it is going to be so much fun. Literally, it's a family affair. So come out and meet us in Kalamazoo and come to the meetup. It's going to be amazing.
Okay, I'm talking a little bit.
Oh, one thing I want to mention.
No, go ahead, mention it. I'm leaving this on the screen. This is something, if you get a separate device, take a picture of it, pull it up. Look, right now, call your kid. Come here, bring your phone. Come take this picture. However you choose to do it, because you might be watching us from your phone. So we're going to leave that up there while Robyn is talking. Go ahead, Robyn.
You guys, there's going to be giveaways. Y'all are the first to know. There's going to be a bunch of giveaways. If you like to go to a place and get a full swag bag, did you see that list of sponsors that we had at the end of there? Y'all, they are sending good stuff for your swag bag. So come on out and be part of it. It's going to be amazing.
Oh, yes. So the first part, of course, y'all, food, brisket, ribs. That's the only two that I'm going to tell you. It's going to be some other stuff. And then to show you how to live this life, the after party is going to have its own set of food, because it's like, y'all, that's like boring. I ain't gonna have this. I ain't gonna have that. We're gonna show you how a carnivore do. Eating guilt-free, y'all.
Feel free. Yes.
Guilt-free, huh? Getting full, getting satiated, getting satisfied. Come on, I'm loving it. And it's a family affair. Y'all know how we party. Y'all know how we do. You still have your salvation. That's not what we're not doing that.
But we're gonna stay safe.
Yes, there are things, cards. I'm just think of a family reunion. What you're gonna do, you're gonna do. So I'm so excited about that. You guys, that's the show. We appreciate you all coming in. I see a couple more comments before I run off. Yes, see, look, so excited. Come on. That's all right. You can't make it. You can get to another one, because this is not the end. We want to show representation. We want to reach the communities to help everyone, but especially our people, to know how you've been eating is not how it's supposed to be. And I want to end the show with this. I said someone, we have a walking challenge that we do. It's really a movement challenge. So even if you're not doing a lot of walking, you could do your arms like this and be a part of the challenge. And I inboxed someone, and they wrote me and said, having some health issues right now. And when they said that, it's one of those, all I can say, it's the food that you're eating. I know it's hard to believe that you need to take in fat. You need your electrolytes. What do you mean take salt? Salt? They told us to not do salt. All of these things, I understand that. But this is the first time in my life that I wanted to come onto a live and say, y'all, my life has changed. Y'all, hello. That's that standard American diet. I'm up, I'm down, I'm up, I'm down. I'm trying to look it, I'm trying to be, I'm up, I'm down, I'm up, I'm down. Look, that it hurts me that I soon might see, not for this individual, but trust me, with somebody on social media, keep us in prayer. We just lost our favorite uncle. We just lost our favorite cousin. And when you see the picture, you see the inflammation. Dark circles do not mean you tired.
That's right.
That is that stuff eating through your skin, and we're just covering it up. I can't say enough. I do this so for the rest of my life, I get to wipe my own butt. That is my goal. Okay. Okay. See y'all next week.
Bye, everybody.